because she's just so much that I don't know where to start. So just, oh, here she is.
I'm like, hi. I jumped in
Can
on
you
your
hear me, right?
intro. Hi.
Yes, that's good. I just said that you're such a badass that it's better that you just jump in and introduce yourself because there is so much going on.
Thank you. Yeah, there is. It's I'm definitely, a multi-passionate woman. So, I mean, if we're going to go career titles, I am an empowerment coach. I am the founder of my brand, Black Belt Beauty, which is a high performance, holistic high performance lifestyle brand. I am a podcast host. So the podcast is Black Belt Beauty Radio, a beauty and wellness expert. I've been a celebrity makeup artist for almost 20 years of my life. So that is,
Wow.
yeah. But aside from the career titles, I mean, I'm an artist, I'm a life athlete, and I am an absolute lover of empowering women to live from their fullest potential.
This is the thing. This is how I found you actually. So it was there, one of my clients posting your interview, and I was like, look at this badass. We have so much in common. And let me tell you guys, we never met before. We never spoke before. Like Roxy just came up and I was like, I need to just text this girl. What is going on there? Because we both have something similar, this passion to help and empower women and everyone else, but we need to be somewhere, right, to focus. So tell
Yeah.
me, how are you doing it? How are you empowering women? Because when you just go to your social media, I think they can just get empowered from like seeing you, how much you're doing. How can you do all this?
Well, it's a great question. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that. And I think you kind of answered it, to be honest. I'm really someone who believes in the idea of leading by example. So everything that I
Yes.
talk about and everything that I share is everything that I live. It's what I embody. And that's also why it's very easy for me to speak on all these subjects with absolute conviction and confidence, because especially for the fact that it's all true experience. Nothing that I have, what I'm talking about and what I share is because I went to school and I learned it, or it's like, no, it's because I've experienced it in my life. I've discovered all these things that I speak to be very powerfully supportive. And so, and I certainly have my own take on, for example, self-love. I speak to it perhaps in a
Yes.
very unique way, right? And so yeah, to go back to the beginning of the question, and the answer is that ultimately everything that I share is what I live, and it's what I live with absolute joy. It's not a chore for me. This is who I am, and it's the life that I love living.
Wow. So were you like always like this or something happened that you said, this is the questions that we
No,
always need to ask, we need to
for
share that.
sure. Yeah, for
How
sure. Well, yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of times there is this, there's the story of the individual who had some kind of really painful experience, like broke them down, and then they took another path, and then that path became their ultimate contribution, their purpose, their passion. And I honestly can't say that that is what has transpired for me. I mean, there
Mhm.
has been some aspects of my life, like some experiences that have supported passions to be developed. Example being when I was a teenager. I'm 42, long time ago, but
You
when I
are
was a
not 42.
I am. I'm here to represent the 40s are amazing. If you're living your
Oh,
life with absolute vitality, you're not,
wow.
40 is not old.
Hello, my idol. Exactly, because I heard that. Okay, listen to this. I was
Yeah.
listening to the interview and I went back to listen twice when you said, in my 42 years of life. And I was like, no, go back. And then we didn't have time, that I would ask you, what was that? Wow. Please,
Oh, thank you.
anyone who didn't go to Roxy profile, go and see her full body, her energy, her
Oh,
face, and say,
thank you.
what is going on there?
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, I actually really love to speak on the age thing because, I'm really someone who believes in be integrative beauty. You know, I'm an expert.
Mm-hmm.
I can paint your face for the red carpet. That's what I've done for years. But what has really inspired me about beauty is the integrative piece. So it's like this whole, how are you showing up in your life to take care of yourself from mind, from body? And then what is that producing on the outside? I mean, I, you know, personally, and I say this with so much respect, this is not to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no like I'm better or worse, but I've never even done Botox. I've never done anything like that. And I'm not saying I haven't
Yeah.
thought about it, okay? I'm going to have an expert coming on the podcast any day now, and I can't wait to pick her brain. But honestly, like, first of all, it's a little scary to me because it's a slippery slope, but I'm also just really turned on by
Mm.
this question of what can my lifestyle continue to produce in terms of my beauty. And again, my collagen is breaking down. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I do my
I
podcast,
see
there's
you really closely now, and you're like, what?
yeah. Well, we got
So,
life. Like, let's be real. Like, there's lights, and I mean, but I won't discredit myself to say that yes, absolutely,
yeah.
my lifestyle is supporting the
Yes.
longevity of aesthetics to keep presenting a youthful appearance, but it's the lifestyle
Mm.
that is supporting this whole piece.
Let's talk about this lifestyle because I can see how active you are. But
Yeah,
you know, you need to have some motivation, and people think
yeah.
they need to have time. So, for
Hmm.
you as such a busy woman, how are you doing it? I know everyone is asking you that, but let's go
Yeah,
through this again.
no,
You know, you were talking
yeah,
about these baby steps, and I
yeah,
want you to tell people about these baby steps that you are like talking so
yeah.
much about it. How important is that?
Yeah, well, I think any time that you are trying to learn a new skill or generate a new habit, you want to assign small increments of progress, like steps, right?
Mm.
Because we all know the story of the individual who, like, for example, the best example is New Year's. I'm gonna
Mm.
just change everything, my diet, my training, and
Yeah.
maybe, perhaps, like, maybe I'll even give them a month that
Mm.
motivation had them at the gym, eating the foods that were nutritious and not the sugary thing. Okay, that motivation goes away. And when that
Yeah.
motivation goes away and you really haven't developed a habit yet, you're in trouble. And this is where
Mm.
people fail. And guess what happens? That fail, just that first bit of failure, the guilt comes in, the shame comes in, and
Yeah.
now you stop your whole process. So, baby steps. Baby steps are respecting the process. Baby steps
Yeah.
are understanding, hey, I don't have a habit yet of, for example, going to the gym. Like if I wanted to develop a weight training, resistance training habit, I'm going to assign 2 days a week,
Yeah.
30 minutes a day. So that's one
Mm.
hour out of my week that I'm going to
Mm.
dedicate to resistance training. And a lot of times, I'm telling you, Tanya, people don't, it's like it's
Mm.
not good enough. What kind of results am I going to get with 1 hour? I'll tell you
Mm.
what, I always say this, inches make the mile. That 1 hour starts to add up. That's 4 hours in the month that you have dedicated when you're consistent
Yes.
to weight training. And
Consistency, guys. Yes.
consistency, it's everything. And so, you know, you have to, I love speaking about discipline because
Mm.
discipline is going to help you create
Mm.
structure so
Yes.
that you actually don't have to think as much. You're like, this is
Mm.
what I know I have to do, so I'm just going to get up and I'm going to do it. So the weight training was one example, but you know, you could do that with food. So rather than, oh, I'm going to stop eating all the carbs and the sugar. I mean, I would love that for you. Trust me, there's massive
Mm.
benefits. But
Yeah.
why don't we just start small and say, I'm going to start incorporating more protein in my meals every single day. I'm not even talking about what I'm not going to eat. I'm talking about what I am going to eat that's nutritious for my body and dedicate
Mm.
myself to that. So, if that's it, I hope that answers your questions with just some examples to, I mean, the takeaways there are inches make the mile. So do not underestimate these small increments of effort, because they are going to create the big picture. They're going to comfortably allow you to actually develop a habit and not just be in a moment of motivation that goes away. And then the other piece there that's so important is to get real with yourself and apply discipline. Because if you're not willing to apply discipline, you should do yourself a favor and don't even try in the first place. And that sounds harsh, but you got to be real with yourself. And personally, I would rather be real if I was starting a new, let's just say I wanted to learn a new language, rather than going, oh, okay, I'm going to study, 4 hours a week, when I know the reality of trying to integrate that in my life right now isn't real. So I'm someone who goes, you know what, Roxy, give me 30 minutes a week to that language, and make sure that nothing gets in the way of that 30 minutes. So I'm applying the discipline factor. And that's how you generate, the bigger picture. You have to back up and focus on the small pieces.
Bravo. And I found something interesting as well, that we have in common that we are both introverts. And no one would say that, right? And this is the baby step that I think we both take with this podcast, with this vlogging, live videos, that all of you guys who are watching us right now, you need to know that first time that was not easy.
No.
Sometimes still not, I don't feel like always to do that, but then I have motivation behind my why. And I ask myself, okay, why do I want to do that? I want to create, I want to help, I want to empower. So this is my why, right? So this is part of the motivation. And whoever thinks that this is just so natural for me or Roxy, you need to know that we're introverts. This is just like coming, like we wake up and you're like, oh, let's go live every day, right?
No, definitely not. No. Yeah, I know. And it's interesting. The labels, man, I had to step away from the label. And while it is so true, though, I mean, I'm really an ambivert, but my introverted tendencies are way stronger. What does that mean? That means that, like, I love being inside of myself. I love spending time in myself, with myself, for myself. So I require a lot of time, right? Just to be in and not to be out here. And so when you say that this isn't natural and isn't easy, I so understand that, because when we're out here, we're on, and beyond the on, we're giving to you outside, whereas like we love to be giving inside. And I think it's an important piece to pull on, to say, essentially, I think the big takeaway here that you're offering is don't wait to be comfortable to do the things that you want to be doing in your life. No way. You're never going to do anything that's worthwhile then, because we know that greatness and accomplishing great things happens, in the state of challenge. It's you develop these things when there's tension, when there's challenge, right? Or otherwise you're trying to play it safe. And I mean, personally, that's just a very boring life. I don't even know how to live.
Same here. So this is the thing for people, that they just think that everything just happens naturally for people. There are tools. There is this motivation that you need to become your own life coach. Like, we are both coaches with Roxy. We know how it is. We need to motivate first ourselves in order to motivate you. And it's not always easy. And usually almost every coach has a coach or mentor, right? And this is so important that you learn as well to have this your inner coach. So what would you say? What is this your inner coach of Roxy saying to Roxy when it's hard to do this baby step? What are you saying to yourself?
Yeah, well, I love that. I have a whole thing I talk about quite often, actually, which is I have a relationship with my future self, who is also my highest self, who is also my best friend, my soulmate, my ride or die, my North Star, my muse. She is my teammate. She loves me. She encourages me. She inspires me. She guides me, and she challenges me. So to answer your question, what does she say to motivate me? Is that was the question? Sorry, that was,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. What was
yeah,
this inner voice of Roxy inside, life coach Roxy saying to Roxy outside to help
yeah.
her?
Well, yeah. So, you know, for me, I really think that uh, having a very loving and compassionate dialogue with yourself is very important. And I
Really.
certainly have that, which is not to be confused for babying yourself. I don't baby
Mm.
myself. When it's time to crack the whip,
Mm.
me and her are cracking the whip on myself, but it's all coming from a place of self-love, you know? So it just depends on the circumstance, Tanya, you know? If it's, you know, a moment where I need to be just loved on and encouraged because I'm going through something hard and it is genuinely hard and it's, you know, applying a lot of, it's stretching me, which is beautiful because I'm growing, you know, then my muse comes in and my hands go over my heart and I'm like, girl, I love you. I get it. This is hard, but guess
Yeah.
what? You got it. You got it, girl. We're doing this. You keep
Mhm.
going. And then there could be other times where maybe I'm, you know, not focused or I'm trying to like play smaller or back away from the challenge. And she will not let me. She'll be, excuse me?
Wow.
Like, no, you better get on that run right now. And like, but all of it is coming from a place of
Yeah.
self-love. You know what I mean? I don't need anything or anyone to, you know, put me in this like a position of like, go. It's, I don't know how to say it. It's just like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, yeah, I don't need
Yeah.
that.
This is so beautiful and important what you just said, because this is what I am trying to really give people every day. You know, when they think I'm gonna be this crazy motivator for them and just like, you know, as you said, wiping their offs, let's go, you can do it. Fine, you know, this is one part, I will do it. But what we first do is this nourishing. Exactly. That they
Yeah.
accept what they feel in order to let go. And, you know, I always give them example Joker, because now this was like, I think 1 year ago, the Joker new one came out and I was like, please watch this movie. Like, this is
Mm.
a therapy if you understand really the true story. And I'm like, don't put this Joker face on. First, nourish your inner self in order to let go, and then do this swiping, right? Then be the rock star. But this dangerous thing of this positivity, right? This new age philosophy, like just be positive, smile, otherwise you're not gonna be accepted. No one wanna be around, you
Mm.
know, this around these people. It's so important. Just even if you're introvert, extrovert, whatever, if you don't find anyone to talk with, like as you said so nicely, be your inner coach, nourish yourself. Don't stay there. You know, there is the tools, right? But this
Yeah.
is the thing. First to
Well, I just,
accept.
you know,
Mm.
I feel like I say this all the time. You are
Yeah.
in you until you're out of here. So
Mm.
if you know that for however long that is, fortunately, hopefully it's very long, you know, don't you want to make this
Yeah.
relationship be a relationship that is loving, that is, I mean, what's the difference of being
Mm.
with a partner, a companion, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, the things that you want to feel with that individual and how they are, how you want to move through life with them, why would you
Mm.
not want to experience that within yourself? I feel
Yeah.
like it's a human responsibility, and I actually feel like we all, I mean, I don't like blanket statements, but I feel for the better part of us, I'll just say that, that's my science brain, who's very factual. The better part of us, the larger parts of us, want to feel this relationship with ourselves, right? But
Mm.
it's not easy for many reasons. It's not easy. It could be the upbringing, your upbringing and the environment and all, and that's a whole nother conversation. But to bring us back there here, it's just to say that, you know, it's the best investment that you can make to
Yeah.
learn how to love yourself, how to back yourself up, how to, you know, support yourself, encourage yourself, not allow yourself to play small, be, you
Mm.
know, disgenuine, and to back away from challenges that will grow you. No, like, make this, create this dynamic, amazing relationship with yourself, just the same way that you would do, you know, with your lover, your partner.
Yeah.
I know it's a little different, but it's maybe there's like one aspect that's actually different, but aside from that one aspect, it's pretty much the same. Like you want to feel love from them, you want to feel validated from them, you want to feel all, okay, well, what are you doing inside of yourself? How are you self-validating? How are you self-loving? How are you self-encouraging? How are you, you know, challenging yourself to be better, right? It's all
Exactly.
starts with you.
Exactly. So this is the big thing as well, like this self-love. It's becoming now this, you know, advertisement everywhere. Just love yourself, right? There is like so much, you know, people talking about it. But I think that people are still confused and they're mixing this, what is actually self-love and self-confidence. There is big difference, you know. Sometimes I have clients, you know, the best, they're coming, they're so confident, and they're like, what do you mean? I do love myself. But they have no clue what that means,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So if you go
Yeah.
a bit too
Yeah.
basic, yeah,
Well,
can
in
you
my,
explain to people this
sure.
difference?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So from my experience, again, this is my
yeah,
experience. And
yeah.
so this is my idea. I
Mm,
actually have a formula called the 5S formula. And,
mm,
you know, the end goal, the end result is self-trust, but it has to move in
mm,
this sequential order. So it starts with self-awareness. You need to
mm,
develop self-awareness. From that self-awareness piece, you need and you will develop more self-connectivity, self-connected, feeling connected to who you are and understanding yourself and your core values and beliefs and all of that, right? When you have a better sense of self-connection and you are definitely more self-aware, this starts to, you know, bring in the self-love piece. The way that I frame self-love, it's not to be confused for self-care. Yes, I
mm,
love getting my nails done and, you know, feeling beautiful and putting on the face masks. That's self-care. And for sure, that
mm,
comes from self-love. But the self-love that I'm talking about is a sense of ownership. It's a sense of worthiness. It's a sense of, it's literally it's what pushes you to do the hard things in life that actually promote and develop
mm,
self-confidence. So once you
yeah.
go self-love, self-confidence, and then you put all of these four S's together, now you're developing real self-trust. Because in order to really trust yourself, you got to take chances on yourself. You have to bet on yourself. Well, guess what? You're not going to do that if you don't love yourself enough to push yourself towards those
Mm,
challenges. And for the people who, you know, you're making the example of those who come in and they have like a almost like a hard and like a tough personality, like confidence. It's like, to me, there's a lack of confidence in that, because
yeah.
self-love is also something that allows the compassion piece to come in. It's also something that, you know, when you really are confident, you don't have shit to prove to anybody.
Yes.
You just are. Like it or
Mm,
not, this is who I am. And I'm
yeah.
so rooted in that this is who I am, that
Mm,
whatever you think of me or not think of me, honestly, is not going to make a difference to what I believe to be true. I'm not saying it doesn't
mm,
matter to me. I care about my family, what they think of me. You know, I care about my
yeah.
friends, what they think of me. But no one's opinion of me, no matter how much I love you, will ever steer me away from me
That's.
being my most authentic self.
Mm. So this is the thing when you set awareness. I think that there is the first step that it goes wrong usually, right? That people are not aware of who they truly are. As you said, I'm really rooted in who I am, right?
Yeah,
But people
yeah,
have this so many perspective from different people who they should be, and they get rooted in this different shoes that they don't know
yeah,
which shoes belongs to them anymore. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So what
yeah,
would you say? How can people be more aware
yeah.
of which shoes are they belonging to, right? Who they really are, where they need to be rooted. You know what I
So
mean? Like
yeah, no, I
this.
do. It's a great question. And
Yeah.
you know, it's a big question, because when you think of something like self-awareness, it just feels like it's so big, and it's like, how do I be? Okay. Well, in my life, you know, I've been fortunate enough to, I've been fortunate to come downloaded with the absolute love and need to journal. So writing, it's not a chore for me. It started at a
Yeah.
very young age, and it was a space where I could just be with myself, and I wanted that space, and also just to express myself creatively, right?
Mm.
The thing is that this space that's always there for me, that's never judging me, that will listen to anything that I have to put out in it, the space
Mm.
ends up being your biggest teacher. It's
Yeah.
teaching you so much, especially when you're consistent, right? And so I just to offer a tool, journaling is a huge tool for stronger self-awareness, in addition
Mm.
to meditation. And I know meditation can be very, some people find it very challenging, and there's all kinds of meditations, but honestly, it's like taking a moment to just be with yourself and your thoughts. I'm personally not someone who's like, oh, quiet the mind, there's no thought. No, in my meditation,
Possible. Yeah.
well, and even beyond the impossibility factor, it's actually what I wouldn't want to achieve. When I'm in
Mm.
meditation, I'm talking to my highest self, to my muse. We are literally communicating. And that space of communication for me is it's very refined. So I'm not all over here. So it is very streamlined, but beyond the conversation with her, it's an opportunity for me to just witness my thoughts. And this is
Mm.
this witnessing piece. What ends up happening is a lot of things. When you go throughout your day, the more that you meditate, and when I'm in this state of meditation, there's a lot of harmony. There's a lot of just tranquility and peace and ease. So now let's go into, you're in your day, and let's just say you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off on the road, and your immediate reaction is just like, and you get pissed, right? I mean, that was me, and it still can happen. But
Mm.
you're aware of this different emotion that you're feeling through your body. You know the difference of what feels tranquil, what feels rooted, what feels connected and aligned, versus like in that moment where you just feel angry and frustrated and whatever. So, all of that stuff. So, journaling and meditation are two of my strongest methodologies that I offer to
Mm.
develop and fortify more self-awareness. But beyond, first and foremost, you have to want more self-awareness.
Yeah, I see as well that you're like training a lot. So you said now journaling and meditation, but there is this other Roxy that she needs to express herself. And as you said, you're artist. And like, tell us what is like this training helping you with? Because we know like emotions, it's emotions. So you need to move the body, right? To let
Yeah.
go as well. This rage, for example, in traffic, it could help you if you trained before. But in your case, what is this training? Because you're so trained, help you, like help people, motivate them, that they will,
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, listen, first of all, I have many forms of movement, many different modalities, from jujitsu to weightlifting to, running 10Ks in the sand on my backyard and the beach, and yoga, and all of these different the variations of movement give me different things. Obviously, yes, in the physical sense, they do different things, but what I'm really interested in above all is what they're offering my mind, because the skills that they're giving my mind are skills that are transferable and that I execute with in the rest of my life, right? So the thing is that, your body is a vessel that there's a oneness here, right? To feel really connected to this vessel that is your body, you have to get in it, right? Sitting on your couch all day, watching TV, you're going to feel very disconnected from your body. But when you're out there and you're lifting weights and you're feeling the challenge that you're putting on your body, you are activating your body. You are getting into your body. When you're yoga and you're flowing, and you know what I mean? Like, you're feeling your body, you're creating this very important connection and relationship with your body. So movement for me is 7 days a week. And within those 7 days, I'm doing different things, like the weightlifting, and yeah. And I mean, personally, I'm someone that, you know, the life that I am choosing to create for myself requires absolute strength, endurance, um, the ability to be comfortable in discomfort, the know how to breathe through moments that are challenging, to be able to be patient and to wait for the right opportunity, right? This is like I'm just going through like my life, and everything that I just shared with you. When you think of yoga, it's breathing through the challenge. It's being fluid. Surfing, you're waiting for the right wave to come. Discomfort, being comfortable in discomfort. That's jujitsu. There's a 200-pound man on me, and he's in a gi, and I'm suffocating, but I'm not freaking out, right? I'm finding comfort in that discomfort. Strength, I'm lifting weights. Endurance, I'm running the beach. You know what I mean? So it's all, that's what I'm saying about the mindset piece. It's, I don't work out. I train. It's different.
And that's why I said training.
I know. I love you for that, because there was a beautiful, it's beautiful because there is a difference. Like, you're going into it different. Like, to me, working out is like almost like a chore. Like, I have to exercise. That's not what I'm doing. I'm living this life of a warrior. She's got to train. A warrior's got to train, you know? It makes it more fun, too, for me, personally.
That's why I liked you, you know, like this warrior Roxy, that she is spiritual badass, but she is a badass, you know? And I think that when people start going to yoga or meditation, they get scared. Who am I gonna be? You know, there's a guru there, whatever is gonna happen to me. They don't get this point that they can be every single thing. They can still curse, they can go for a beer after yoga, they can go to the gym and box, and you are just explain this so well. But this is the guys, like Roxy said this so good. When you are aware of who you truly are, who you can be, and you just express yourself in all these ways, that's okay, you know? And she is a coach, so she could think as well, like, oh yeah, I shouldn't say that, I shouldn't do that. No, this is true self-love. She is like she is, and then she's like, you like me or not? And I remember, you know, when I became a coach, like a lot of my friends told me, Tanya, now you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't post that, you shouldn't do that. I was like, that's your self-limiting beliefs, not mine. Yours.
I love it. So powerful. Yeah, you know, it's, first of all, no matter what you do in life, there will always be someone who disagrees with you, who doesn't like it, who doesn't approve. So to know that immediately and for the rest of your life is very, very helpful, because listen, I am not for everyone. I'm maybe too edgy or too much, you know, my language, or I'm not for everybody. And not only am I okay with that, I actually appreciate that. I'm not here to be for everybody. And in fact, when people like yourself, Tanya, come to me because you like connect with me, you know how good it feels? Because I know that you're genuinely connecting with me. And do you know why? Because I'm only giving you my genuine expression. There's no costume with me. I'm not trying to be this coach or I'm spiritual. I don't like labels. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just showing up, being myself. And, you know, for those who receive me and resonate with me, that's amazing, because, again, I'm being myself. So it says something to me about you, too, that we have things in common, that, you know, there's things that we're in alignment with. And that's really, that's a beautiful and important thing, because if you think about the opposite, if you're not showing up, being your most authentic self and not being true, well, then when you look around and at the people who are around you, well, then how do you even know who they are? Because they're not opting in to your true self, because you're not giving them your true self. So, you know, that just, to me, makes it easy to be yourself, but I know it's never that simple, but yeah.
This is the thing as well, you know, like I didn't understand when I started coaching that I can have my perfect client, that I don't need to even accept everyone. And once I heard this, you know, I was like, oh, yeah, course, I can choose, because I thought I need to be now good to everyone, accept
Right.
everyone. And then I realized, oh, fuck, I still need to work on my self-esteem. Let's go back,
You're so
take a
beautiful.
how I need to do. And I was like, no, 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 no. Okay, Tanya, now write down, because I'm journaling as well. Now it's Santa coming, I remember the only present from my childhood was diary. I
You
know
always
how
say that again?
it was green, I was like 8 and I was start journaling. I remember
Oh,
so
I
well.
love that. I
Yes,
love
because
it.
the kids knows what they need, and we need to go back in touch in this like small kid inside of you. As you said, you have
Yeah,
this Roxy from the future. Some people they need to
right?
nourish first. This little Roxy from the past. For
Yeah,
everyone is,
totally.
and as you said, you
Absolutely.
don't need to have like crazy story behind you in order to, to put it out. It's just who you are, and you're just
It's just
sharing
who
it,
you
and it's
are.
beautiful, so beautiful.
Thank you. Well, ditto, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So what would you say, like, for the end, what we can give today to our people watching us? What would you say this last thought to empower them to be them true themselves, true self?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it to me, I say self-love is the queen of battle. And I say that because self-love is not only what's going to push you to seek the
Mm,
fight, to do the hard things, but self-love is actually going to help you get across the mission,
mm,
right? And so I really, really love inviting not just women, but just really anybody to
mm,
develop a very loving and compassionate teamwork style dialogue with yourself. Catch yourself when you're moving through your day. How are you talking to yourself? Are you on
yeah.
your team? Are you supporting your team? Are you making it harder when things are already hard? When
Mm,
you let me tell you this. This is a fun real life example. Every morning after yoga or after meditation and journaling, I have my own flow of yoga. And it's just, me, and a lot of times I'm talking to myself through the yoga practice. And there are days for sure where like I'm a little like wobbly, right? And I'm not as fluid, and I'm like feeling or I fell,
mm,
and I say to myself, and it's almost like my higher self talking to me, good, feel yourself fall. And now feel yourself pick yourself back up. Feel yourself support yourself when you fall. Good. Do you know what the difference of
mm.
versus like, being frustrated that I fell and then feeling like I wasn't good enough or I didn't do it right? You see what I'm saying? That example that
Yeah, exact
that in,
acceptance. Accept, then move on.
accept and not just accept. Feel
Mm,
yourself, support yourself to grow from that moment.
mm,
That's what I'm giving you as the takeaway, because it is
mm,
something that I know the larger majority isn't operating with, right? It's so much easier to judge yourself, to be hard on yourself, and all of that. And I want to make this very clear. I'm not asking you to baby yourself. I'm not asking you to lie to yourself. Certainly not. Like, oh, this is
mm,
not like everybody gets a trophy. No, man, if you mess up, it's okay. Own it. But don't make it harder on yourself.
mm.
Figure out a way to love yourself while you're learning and growing.
Mm.
That's it.
Beautiful. And tell us as well, just for this queendom, what is that about? So I just saw it quickly. You're doing some queendom there, queen. Tell me about that.
You're so great, Tanya. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm so excited about Queendom. So, Queendom is my exclusive membership platform for women only. And it's a space that, I will be providing an element of coaching. So I'll come in and there'll be a focused topic and I'll do a Zoom call and wrap out around that topic. Like, for example, January is commitment, going all in. So I'm going to wrap out about that, take questions from the women in the community. And then there's challenges, there's pop-up virtual events where I bring in, incredible experts and do master classes and Q&As.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. But honestly, the most powerful piece to Queendom is the community. It is, and
Mm,
I feel like you would also understand this very well. Is like as a someone who does group coaching, the power of group coaching is very just to me, it outdoes one-on-one coaching. I think one-on-one coaching is powerful in its own way, but when you bring other like-minded women together to support each other, to align, to love on each other, to give each other advice, to challenge each other, that energy is just expanding, expanding, expanding. And so I'm bringing together a badass community of warrior women who are on this mission to live from their fullest potential. All of my girls in there are leaders. So there's just, they all get to execute their leadership skills as well by supporting each other. So this is, I mean, this is like, and it's so exciting. I literally can go on and on and on, because now more than ever, I feel like, these spaces where you can come together, it's non-toxic, it's non-competing, it's non-judgmental, it's none of that. It's literally inspiration, empowerment, education, fun. I love having fun. And this is the energy that you're going to be connecting in a community with. I mean, not only is it fun, but I think it is so powerfully supportive to anyone who is truly, trying to live from their fullest potential. So that's Queendom.
Wow. You see, guys, that's why I love coaching so much and people like Roxy, because we are for collaboration over competition, because I do so similar things, but I just love to hear from others, promote others, and this is this true love self when you don't see anyone competing with you, and there is just a love giving to others. When you have inside, you can just share, and you just think where else you can share. And sorry, just for last question, we got it for journaling. Actually, we got 2 questions. One is, can you explain more about the meditation and journaling? What is that like? And do both of you do that or similar? And then it was the next question as well, like similar for journaling. What exactly you write on journals? You see, this for us is like so normal to talk about journaling, but for some people it's like, what's that?
It's so funny. Oh God, I want to get up and show you something. I actually designed, it's not out yet, but I have the copy and it's pretty incredible. I designed a guided journal, because you're right. It's not comfortable for everybody to journal. People feel intimidated, as if you're supposed to be performing at a certain level or in a certain way in your journal. So what I invite people to do is forget journaling as a tool. Okay, that word tool and journaling, like, forget it. I want you to see it as you're going on a date with yourself. You're literally just going to hang out with yourself. Some days it's going to be a streamline of consciousness, like whatever comes out. Like I love journaling after meditation, and like I just let my mind go wherever it's going to go. Some days it's going to be reflective. You're going to be literally recording an event that took place in your life. Other days you might be future pacing, like channeling where you want to take your life and what that looks like almost like a written visualization, right? Other days you might be goal setting. The journal is going to be, the more consistent you are with it too, it's going to be all of that, right? But to remove the idea of it being a tool, I think is very helpful, because the tool part puts like a pressure of it needs to be something. And no, it doesn't. Listen, even if it's 5 minutes, this is what I feel so grateful for in my life. I think gratitude is always kind of an easier way to start journaling. Like just focus on what you're grateful for, But it's going back to the very beginning of our amazing conversation. It's the baby steps. It's, the investment of, can you invest 5 minutes every day, wherever that is for you? Maybe it's in the evening, maybe it's middle of the day when your kids are napping or at school, or maybe it's at the top of the day. I don't know. 5 minutes a day. Can you journal? And back off from, this needs to be, I need to do it a certain way. You really don't. And, the difference of meditation for me is, journaling allows me to take my thoughts and to get more clear on them and like in a tangible sense, and that feels good to me, put them down and see them. Whereas like in my meditation, I'm going into my body, there's breath work happening, I'm clearing out thoughts that I don't want to be living in my mind, I'm getting focused on the thoughts that I do, and I'm connecting with, you know, my higher self, my future self. So there's actually a lot of similarity, but they are different. So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, I talk so much about that, how important it is to express your emotions. As we said before, don't be joker, don't suppress them, express them. The easiest way, guys, to not be a joker, you can always write them down. If you don't feel comfortable to talk with yourself or someone else, just write your thoughts down, feel your feelings. Because this is happening, right? I have so many clients that they are telling me, I don't know what I feel. I ask them, not how are you, but really, how are you feeling?
Right.
They're lost. They don't know.
Yeah.
This takes awareness, guys. Start journaling to start feeling in order to let go of what you don't need.
Totally. No, I love that. I love that.
Of you.
Yeah, that's a great piece to add. You know, it just really allows you to sift and to sort through your thought process and to get more clarity on it. And you know, it's also, you know, it's so fun. I have over 20 years of my life in journals in my home, and I started before that, but I moved around a lot, so I've lost journals. But even just that, over 20 years of my life is recorded in my home. That's amazing, you know, just to be able to go back and be like, whoa, when I was, you know, 21, and be like, look how I was thinking. And that's also how you learn, because you go back from time to time and you're like, whoa, look at how I handled challenge then, and look at how I handle challenge now, or, you know, so yeah, there's so many wins to journaling.
Exactly. And as you said, there is no good or bad, right and wrong. There is just you. Express yourself as you are, because sometimes as well people ask me, do I need to burn this shit, or what I need to do after that? Just do as you want. If you need to, like, you know, put in the sea, like throw somewhere, fine. But as you said, you're keeping it. Someone needs to burn it. Whatever you need to do, that's your thing.
Yeah, totally.
So I think that chat was so amazing, and thank you so much for being here. And
so much
when you're gonna have this for journal thing, send me so I can send to everyone.
I will. I know, it's so exciting. I'm staring. It's illustrated. It's like literally gorgeous. I probably should have had it here, but yeah, next you know, probably February, it'll be ready for sale for everybody. So I'll make sure that you know. Thank you so much.
Let us know, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I love this talk. So are you. Thank you so much.